So in the last class, we have seen about the losses in the transformer. We have seen about the losses in the transformer. Okay. There are two types of losses, constant losses and variable losses. Constant losses will remain constant irrespective of the load condition on the transformer, whereas variable losses will vary along with the load. Okay. So load is what? Load is that thing which is receiving power. Anything that is receiving power from the transformer is load. Okay, or on any system. Okay. So any system which is doing the work is called the load. Now with respect to the load, the copper losses will vary. Okay. So those are known as variable losses, whereas iron losses will remain constant. Those are known as constant losses. Okay. So today we will see the efficiency of transformer. Transformer efficiency. Okay. So what is efficiency of any machine is, it is the simple ratio of efficiency is ratio of output power or power efficiency. Power efficiency is the ratio of output power to input power. Ratio of output power to input power. Okay, but for a transformer we know this is E1, this is I1, flux phi will exist, this is E2, I2. So for a transformer we know the output power V2 I2 is equals to input power V1 I1. Now if I take the ratio of output power to input power, okay, this V2 I2 by V1 I1 is always equal to 1, that is 100%. Okay, so with respect to this equation, my efficiency of transformer appears to be 100%. Okay, but when we take the power efficiency of the transformer, okay, when we take the power efficiency of the transformer, it is always the ratio of power delivered to the load, that is the working power delivered to the load, to the working power received from the source. We know that V1 I1 and V2 I2 are the total powers, which includes real power and reactive power. Okay, so V1 I1 and V2 I2 are the total power which includes real power and reactive power. But in the load, the power utilized is only the real power. Okay, in the load, power utilized or power consumed, okay, or work done is only by real power. So I cannot take this ratio of my transformer output and input powers. I can't take this ratio of transformer output and input power to define the efficiency of the transformer. With respect to this ratio, my efficiency will become always 100%. But already we have seen in the previous cases, in the previous lectures, that there will be the losses in transformer. Okay, we get loss in the transformer. So if there is loss existing in any system, efficiency cannot be 100%. It will be less than 100%. Okay, so therefore this is not the power that I am interested in to calculate the efficiency of the transformer. Okay, so efficiency of transformer is given by, here I will rewrite, efficiency of transformer is equals to power output in watts divided by power input in watts. Okay, so the wattage power is my consideration. Okay, how much watts the output is taken from how many watts of the input. Okay, so definitely output watts will be less than the input watts. We know that watts is the unit of power of active power or real power or power consumed or power utilized. Okay, so therefore efficiency of transformer is specifically the ratio of power output to power input in watts, compulsorily in watts. Okay, why we are stressing on this output in watts and input in watts? Because the rating of the transformer is in volt amperes. We don't rate transformer in watts. We don't rate transformer in watts. Transformer is always rated in volt amperes. You take for example of motor, a induction motor, our normal motor which we use in our domestic application to lift the power. You take the motor that we use in the fan. Okay, we take the let us take the motor that we use in our mixers and grinders. Okay, anywhere, all these are rated in watts. Okay, when you say the water lifting pump is having half HP of power output, half HP means how much? 746 watts by 2. Okay, some around 373 watts or so. Okay, if you take the fan, it is around 70 to 80 watts. Okay, if you take the mixer grinder, it is almost of the it depends. Mixer grinder wattage depends upon its capacity. It starts varying from 50 watts on so. Okay, so all these are rated in watts. So there it is very simple. Output power to input power is the efficiency, because already the power rating is mentioned in watts. But whereas for transformers, power rating is always mentioned in volt amperes. Power rating is always mentioned in volt amperes. The reason behind it is there are one is copper losses. Okay, copper losses which are equals to I square R. Okay, these are proportional to current, and iron losses which are proportional to Bm, that is proportional to flux or phi, and this is proportional to voltage. Okay, since the transformer losses are depending upon only voltage and current, okay, the power rating of the transformers are rated in volt amperes, V into I, volt amperes. This is one reason. Okay, second reason is that I don't rate the operation of transformer for a specific power factor. If I have to define the voltage, power rating of any machine, any AC machine in watts, then I should be mentioning what is the operating power factor of that particular machine. Now suppose induction motor, we have to lift the water pump. If you see the nameplate, the power factor sometimes, or the standard motors, you will be mentioning with power factor. What is the operating power factor of that particular motor? Okay, it may be 0.8 or 0.85, 0.9, whatever. Okay, so when I load that motor, when I start that motor to lift the water, the operating power factor of that motor will be the mentioned power factor on the nameplate. So input voltage is 230 volts multiplied by current, some value of current, into power factor, that is my wattage rating, some 373 watts or so. Just now I told of for half HP motor, it is so. Okay, so when I have to define a particular machine in watts, then I should be defining its operating power factor for that operation. Okay, because we know P is equals to EI cos phi. and this is in watts. So until and unless I don't define power factor, I can't get the power output in watts or power input in watts, whatever. But what about the transformer is, since transformer is feeding the load or it is supplying the load, okay, on which the load is varying infinitely. I told in the previous class what is infinite variation of the load. Okay. So here, because the load is varying infinitely, the power factor of the load is not remaining constant. So the operating power factor of the transformer is continuously varying. The moment I switch on this fan, power factor changes because reactance and resistance in the circuit changes. The moment I switch off this fan, the power factor changes, and there are n number of loads connected on the secondary side of the immediate previous distribution transformer. Okay, so I don't know what is the change load change pattern. Okay, so I cannot define the operating power factor of this transformer. I cannot define it as 1 also. I can't take power factor equals to 1 also. Okay, so because I am rating the power factor, the power rating of the transformer in volt amperes, it doesn't mean the operating power factor is 1. I am simply not defining it. I am defining the power rating of the transformer in terms of the total power, VI, okay, or volt amperes, because it has to remain constant from primary to secondary. This is one more reason why I have to define the transformer in kVA, not in kilowatts. Okay. So this is the reason why I don't define power factor of the transformer in the rating. So a load power factor of the transformer can be anything. It can vary from 0 to 1, 1 to 0, depending upon that operating load. Okay. So this is the reason why I have to specifically mention in the efficiency of transformer that power output in watts to power input in watts, because the normal rating of the transformer is in volt amperes. If I simply write output power to input power, it can be V2 I2 by V1 I1, which is not true for the finding of efficiency in the transformer. Okay. So with this definition of power, we will move ahead with the efficiency. We will move ahead with the getting the equation for efficiency. Efficiency at full load. Efficiency at full load. Okay. This eta is the notation for efficiency of every machine. Okay. So efficiency at FL, that is full load, is equals to full load output in watts divided by full load input in watts. Full load output in watts divided by full load input in watts. So what is full load output in watts? Full load output in watts is EI cos phi. So secondary voltage at the load terminals is V2 I2 cos phi 2. V2 is the voltage across load terminal, I2 is the current through load, cos phi 2 is the load power factor. Okay, so V2 I2 cos phi 2. Then what is full load input in watts is equals to, I will write it as full load output plus in watts full load losses in transformer. Okay, I told when discussing the losses that output is obtained after the losses are satisfied in the machine. So transformer output is nothing but input minus the losses, or I can say the input is supplying for losses as well as the output. So input is always equal to output plus losses. Okay, full load output plus full load full load losses in transformer. Now what is full load loss in transformer? FL is full load. Full load losses in transformer is equals to, we have two types of losses, full load iron loss, iron loss and copper loss. Okay, so I will write full load iron loss or core loss plus full load copper loss. Full load iron loss plus full load copper loss. So this I will write equals to, I know that iron loss is a constant loss which will remain constant irrespective of the load condition. So there is nothing like full load iron loss. It is simply iron loss. So I will take it as Wi iron loss plus full load copper loss. I will take it as WCU full load. Okay, WCU full load. So here WCU full load. Okay, Cu is copper. WCU full load is equals to, let us take I2 square R02 or I1 square R01, or if you are getting confused, R2E R1E. Okay, if I take I2 square, it should be R2E. If I take I1 square, it should be R1E. What is R2E and R1E? R2E is effective resistance of transformer or equivalent resistance of transformer, whole transformer. Equivalent resistance of transformer referred to secondary. Equivalent resistance of transformer referred to secondary. R1E, equivalent resistance of transformer referred to primary. What is this? You just remember, because it is not the part of our study. It is a big concept. Okay. So for your syllabus of 18 scheme, that part is being taken out from the actual syllabus. So if I discuss also, it will be an additional hour. Okay. So we will restrict ourselves with respect to that only in remembering what it means. Okay. So this is full load copper loss. Here this will be I2 full load R2E, I1 full load R1E. I2 full load R2E, I2 full load square R2E, I1 full load square R1E. Okay. Now therefore, I can write output power is equals to full load input is equals to full load input in watts is equals to full load output in watts is V2 I2 cos phi 2. You write it I2 full load. V2 I2 full load cos phi 2. V2 will remain same. Okay, we assume V2 will remain same for all the load conditions. Cos phi 2 plus Wi, okay, full load losses, Wi plus WCU full load. plus WCU full load. Now substituting that in the equation for efficiency, this will be into 100. Okay. Efficiency at full load output in watts by full load input in watts into 100. Okay. So full load output in watts, efficiency at full load is equals to V2 I2 full load cos phi 2 divided by V2 I2 full load cos phi 2 plus iron loss plus full load copper loss into 100. Now this is the expression for efficiency at full load. Okay, but I can't operate transformer always at full load condition. It is not possible for me. Okay, always the transformers, especially the distribution transformers, are operating at under load conditions or under the full load condition. Why? Because whenever I take a transformer for any operation, the power rating of the transformer what I choose will be usually almost double the power rating that is required at that point of time. Now suppose I want to install a transformer to a newly started area, okay, where the power requirement in that area is say around 500 kVA, okay, 500 kilovolt amperes. The new area, say suppose our college area itself or our college premises. So I want to install a dedicated distribution transformer for our college premises. Okay. Now the college premises load requirement is suppose 200 kilovolt amperes. 200 kilovolt amperes. That is the existing load. Our main building, the BSN block, our hostels, okay, our new building, all buildings are giving us the power rating of equal to 200 kilovolt amperes. Say for example, now if I have to install a transformer in my premises to get the power distributed, I will not install a transformer of 200 kilovolt amperes or 200 kVA. I will be installing say around 300 to 350 kVA transformer. Why? Because once I install the transformer, I expect it to operate for years together, not even months. Because transformer is operating 24/7/365. There is no rest for the operation of transformer. Okay? There is no rest for the operation of transformer. Even if I have to service it, the servicing of transformer will not be even once a year. It will be once or 2 to 3 years. So to that extent it has to give the service. Now suppose today the load requirement is 200 kVA and I install a transformer of 200 kVA. Next year I want to increase one more floor of my building, or I want to construct one more new block. There will be additional power requirement. So once that newly constructed load is put into the service, then my transformer will be overloaded. Now it has to give out the power which is more than 200 kVA, which is not possible for that existing transformer. Okay, it can take overload condition for few moments. Okay, you can take for 1 or 2 hours, not more than that. But I want power supply continuously. Therefore, whenever I am installing the transformer, I will be always installing a transformer of overrating. Okay. Generally, I take at least 30 to 50%, minimum 50% of the overload condition. So suppose if today the load requirement is 200 kVA, I generally install 300 kVA. So even if all the loads are running in my premises, the transformer load is not full load, because the full load is 300 kVA and transformer is operating at 200 kVA. So generally the transformer operates always at underload condition. So this expression will give me the efficiency only at full load condition. Now I should be considering some factor which will give me the efficiency at any load condition. Load can be anything. It can be 10% of full load, 20% of full load, okay, 30% of full load, 55% of full load, any percentage of full load. That factor we call it as load factor. We will introduce a load factor in this equation. Once the load factor is introduced in this equation becomes the general equation for transformer efficiency. Then I can calculate the efficiency of transformer at any load condition. Now what do you mean by full load condition and partial load condition or less than full load condition is? So for example, we have the classrooms, and in that classroom we have 6 set of tube lights and 5 ceiling fans. Okay, in each set there are 2 tube lights, lamps. Okay, let us take only this connected load only. Okay, so there are 12 tube lights and 5 fans. 12 tube lights are of each around 36 watts or 40 watts. Okay, so 12 tube lights, 40 watts, 12 for the 48. Okay, so it will be around 480 watts. Okay, and 5 fans, let us take 100 watts each. Okay, 500 watts. Okay, so 980 watts. Let us take 1000 watts. So entire load connected is around 1000 watts. Now if all the lamps and fans are running, that is full load condition. Now suppose I have a small transformer that is feeding only these 12 lamps and 5 fans. Now when I start all the lamps and all the fans, then that transformer is operating at full load. Now suppose if I turn off one fan, so I am reducing 100 watts. Now the load condition on the transformer is existing load in watts divided by the full load in watts. Okay, the load factor on the transformer is now existing load on the transformer divided by full load on the transformer. Okay, it may come around 90%. Now if I switch off one tube light set, so 70 to 80 watts have gone, let us take. Now the existing load is what? 1000 watts minus 80 watts minus 100 watts divided by 1000 watts. So this is called the load factor. Okay, what is load factor? Load factor is the ratio of existing load to the full load. Okay, now if existing load becomes equal to full load, load factor is 1. So the value of load factor will vary from 0 to 1. It won't change. It won't be less than 0. It won't be more than 1. If X or if the load factor is more than 1, it indicates the machine is overloaded. It is overloaded condition. Okay. You take this as equation 1. Equation 1 gives efficiency at only full load. Equation 1 gives the efficiency at only full load. But transformer generally operates at below full load condition. Is below full load condition. Therefore, let us consider a load factor. Let us consider a load factor. Okay, so load factor X is equals to, okay, load factor X is equals to, it is the ratio of actual load or existing load on transformer divided by full load on transformer. Actual load on transformer divided by full load on transformer. Okay. Now if actual load is half the full load condition, my X will be equal to 0.5. If actual load is half the full load condition. So how does I define actual load? I define actual load as a fraction of full load only. Okay, I may ask to calculate the efficiency of transformer at 60% of full load condition, 25% of full load condition, 70% of full load condition. In that case, when I say 60% of full load condition, 0.6 into the full load. So full load by full load will cancel, X equal to 0.6. So X is a fractional value, it is a decimal number. Okay, 70% of full load condition. Okay, 0.7 into full load by full load, it is 0.7. Whatever the percentage of full load is mentioned, that is the value of X. When we solve the examples, we will get to know in a more clear way. Okay, now this X is actual load on transformer divided by full load on transformer. Now where to introduce this? I simply cannot multiply this X to this equation and say efficiency at any load. No, that is not the concept. So when to introduce this load factor, I should be first knowing what is that quantity which changes with load. In this equation of efficiency, what is that quantity which changes with the load? Okay, so let us take the transformer. I will not show the primary. It is evident that primary is connected to supply. Okay, now I have various load connections. I will not show load also, simply I will show a switch. So these are the loads connected, switches, simple switches. Okay. Now, if all these switches are open, then the transformer is on no load. Okay, then the transformer is on no load. If all the switches are closed, then the transformer is on full load. Don't think that it is short circuit. I am not showing the load, actual load, it is simply I am showing it in the form of a switch. Now, the load on the transformer varies from no load to full load. Now, what is the current in no load? At no load, the current in the load is 0. Okay? I2 will be 0 at no load. Okay? So here I can say I2 is equals to 0 at no load. Now when I close all the switches, I turn on all the lamps, all the fans in the class. Now I2 is equals to I2 full load at full load. At full load. Now what is varying here? It is the secondary current. So in any machine, current is the quantity that decides the load condition on that machine. If current is 0, output of machine is 0. If current is maximum, output is maximum or full load, whatever you can consider. Okay. So this load factor has to be taken with respect to current now. We got to know that it is the current which is defining the load condition on the transformer, because V2 is remaining constant. V2 is almost remaining constant. Okay. So therefore, current at any load condition is given by, or let that is for understanding, okay, that will not come into the derivation. Let I2 is load current at any load. Okay, I2 is the load current at any load. Therefore, load factor X is equals to I2 divided by I2 into full load. I2 divided by I2 into full load. Therefore, I2 is equals to X into I2 into full load. X into I2 into full load. Now, I have the equation 1, which is efficiency of transformer only at full load condition. Okay. Now, with respect to that, from equation 1, I can write the efficiency of transformer at any load condition. Okay. From equation 1, efficiency of transformer at any load, okay, efficiency equals to, now it was eta full load there, it is now only eta. So, it is V2 I2 cos phi 2, I2 is current at any load, divided by V2 I2 cos phi 2 plus Wi. Iron losses are constant whether it is full load, partial load, overload or no load, plus WCU. Here also I am not considering WCU full load, okay, because copper losses are depending upon the current. So at less load, copper losses are lesser than full load copper losses. Okay. Now, here I2 is equals to X I2 full load. Here I2 is equals to X into I2 full load. Okay. Therefore, copper loss at any load, and this has to be considered because copper losses are variable losses. Okay, so this X should reflect in copper loss also. If load is 0, copper losses are 0. If load is full load, copper losses are full load. If load is less than full load, copper losses are less than full load. Okay, so copper losses at any load is given by WCU is equals to I2 square R2E. We have already defined what is R2E. Yeah, I2 square R2E. Now what is I2? What is I2? I2 is equals to X into I2 full load square. Therefore, WCU is equals to X into I2 full load square into R2E, or this is equals to X square I2 full load square R2E. Now what is this? I2 full load square R2E, it is the full load copper losses. So I can write copper loss at any load is equals to X square into copper loss at full load. Okay, copper loss at any load is equals to X square into copper loss at full load. X is load factor. Okay, therefore efficiency at any load eta is given by, okay, or eta X you can call. Eta X is given by V2 into x I2 cos phi or cos phi 2 divided by V2 into x I2 cos phi 2 plus Wi plus x square WCU full load plus x square WCU full load, or I can write efficiency at any load is equals to x V2 I2 cos phi 2 divided by x V2 I2 cos phi 2, sorry, I2 full load, I2 full load, I2 full load, I2 full load. Okay, x into I2 full load. I2 is x into I2 full load plus Wi plus x square into WCU full load. Now what is V2 I2 full load? It is nothing but my volt ampere rating of the transformer at full load. Yes, V2 I2 full load is nothing but my VA rating of the transformer. So here V2 into I2 full load is full load VA rating of full load VA rating of transformer. Therefore efficiency at any load is equals to x into VA full load cos phi. I will not take a cos phi 2 because in this expression cos phi is implicitly load power factor. Okay, x VA full load cos phi divided by x VA full load cos phi plus Wi plus x square WC full load. Now this is the expression for the efficiency of transformer at any load condition. For the efficiency of transformer at any load condition. Okay, and this derivation is not present in PMC textbook. So please mind it, anybody who is referring PMC textbook, this derivation is not present in PMC textbook. Okay, in PMC there is only condition for maximum efficiency and the load factor for maximum efficiency is derived. That is not the derivation for efficiency of the transformer. So if in the exam, internal or external, expression for efficiency is asked to derive, this derivation you should follow. You should be showing that. If you show that derivation, you won't get marks. If condition for maximum efficiency is asked, then that derivation is valid. But generally it will be asked along with this derivation. Okay, so this is the derivation for obtaining the equation for efficiency of the transformer. Okay, so we will be using this equation of efficiency to calculate the efficiency of transformer. Next is condition for maximum efficiency. Condition for maximum efficiency. When do I get the maximum efficiency of transformer? So let the efficiency is output in watts divided by input in watts. Output in watts divided by input in watts. So slightly I will change here. I will not take output is equal input is equals to output plus losses. I will take output is equals to input minus losses. So I can take here efficiency is equals to, I will write output as input minus losses, obviously in watts, divided by output. Input minus losses divided by output. Now what is input? Input of transformer is nothing but V1 I1 cos phi. V1 I1 cos phi. Now what are loss? At any load, it is not compulsorily at full load, it is at any load. Losses are is equals to Wi plus WCU. Okay, Wi plus WCU. Okay. Now I will enter it here. Efficiency is equals to input V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus Wi plus WCU upon V1 I1 cos phi 1. Okay, upon V1 I1 cos phi 1. So this is not at full load or at any load. Okay, it is general at any load. Efficiency of transformer will not maximum efficiency of transformer is not obtained at full load condition. Okay, there is a misconception among many people that when the load is maximum, the efficiency is also maximum, but it is not the case. Okay, if you draw the efficiency of any machine, not only transformer, any machine, if you take efficiency here and load here, the curve will be like this, and this is full load point, and maximum efficiency occurs, okay, this maximum efficiency occurs at a load less than full load point. It is true in every machine. It is true in every machine. Okay, so don't think that maximum efficiency means full load efficiency. No, maximum efficiency will be more than full load efficiency. Full load efficiency will be less than maximum efficiency. Okay, so generally the transformers or any machines which are operating continuously, any machine that is operating continuously, I don't keep the operating point of that machine near to full load. I keep the operating point of machine near to maximum efficiency. Okay, it is a extended concept. Okay, how to put that and all those things at the time of design we have to consider. Okay, so but you remember, full load efficiency of any machine is not obtained at maximum efficiency of any machine is not obtained at its full load condition. Maximum efficiency of any machine, whether transformer or motor or generator, will appear at less than full load condition. If you draw the efficiency curve with respect to load for any machine, it follows this nature. Irrespective of the machine, it follows this nature. So efficiency rises linearly to some extent, then it will go to maximum. After maximum point, it will decrease. Now I have to find the condition for the transformer which gives me this point, when actually the efficiency of the transformer is maximum. I want to find that condition. So that is condition for maximum efficiency. Okay. So this eta is equals to V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus Wi minus WCU. And what is WCU? Here. This I can write equals to losses is equals to Wi plus WCU. This I will write Wi plus I1 square R1E. Because I am taking V1 I1 cos phi 1, I will take I1 square R1E. I1 square R1E is exactly equal to I2 square R2E. There is no change. So I will write it as I1 square R1E or efficiency eta is equals to, I will divide V1 I1 cos phi 1 for everyone. So for all the terms, 1 minus Wi divided by V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus I1 square R1e divided by V1 I1 cos phi 1. So I1 and 1 I1 will get over here. So efficiency is equals to 1 minus Wi upon V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus I1 R1e upon V1 cos phi 1. I1 has got cancelled there. Now, to obtain maximum efficiency, you take this as equation 1. Okay, to obtain maximum efficiency, I should differentiate equation 1 with respect to current and equate it to 0. To obtain maximum efficiency, differentiate equation 1 with respect to current. Current is what? I1 here. With respect to I1 and equate to 0. Okay. So that is d efficiency by di1 should be equals to 0. D efficiency by di1 should be equals to 0. Okay. Now differentiate d by di1 of 1 is 0. So this implies 0 minus here Wi divided by V1 I1 cos phi 1. So 1 by I1, differentiation of 1 by I1, 1 by x square. Okay, differentiation of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. So this will be Wi divided by V1 I1 cos phi 1, sorry, V1 I1 square cos phi 1, V1 I1 square cos phi 1, it should be minus 1 by x square, it will become plus, minus I1 R1e divided by V1 cos phi 1 is equals to 0. Sorry, differentiation of I1 R1e will be R1e. di1 by di1 is 1. So differentiation of I1 R1e with respect to I1 is R1e is equals to 0, or I can write Wi upon V1 I1 or R1e upon V1 cos phi 1 equals to Wi upon V1 I1 square cos phi 1. So V1 cos phi 1, V1 and cos phi 1 will go. This implies this is I1 square R1e is equals to Wi. So what is I1 square R1e? It is the copper loss at any load condition. I1 is not full load. Please don't get confused. This is not full load copper loss. It is the copper loss at one particular load condition where the efficiency is maximum. In the next part we will see what is that load factor when efficiency is maximum. Okay. So therefore, what is condition for maximum efficiency? Okay. So what is condition for maximum efficiency? The condition for maximum efficiency is when copper loss become equal to iron loss, the maximum efficiency occurs. Okay. Therefore, condition for maximum efficiency is copper loss equals to iron loss or core loss, both are same. Yeah. When you derive in the textbook, it is shown iron loss equal to copper loss. It is copper loss equal to iron loss. You may ask, what is the difference? Iron loss is a constant. Whether load is maximum or efficiency should be maximum, or efficiency is 0 or efficiency is full load, my iron losses will remain constant. So variable losses will become equal to constant loss. Constant loss cannot become equal to variable loss. It is, iron loss is a constant. I can write x equals to, or say some y equals to 2. There is a meaning. Because there is equality, I cannot write 2 equal to y. Is it? It is equality. Y equal to 2 I can write. A variable can take a constant value. A constant cannot take a variable value. Constant is a constant. Therefore, copper losses is equal to iron losses, but not iron losses equal to copper losses. When we solve example, you will understand that. Okay? So only here I took this first and this second. If I would have taken Wi by this term equal to R1E by this term, I would have got iron loss equal to copper loss. It is true, but physically when I have to interpret, I cannot say iron loss equal to copper loss. A constant cannot become a variable. Okay, this is one thing. Now, what is the load factor at which iron loss will become equal to copper loss? Okay. Let I1 is equals to x full load or x max into I1 full load. So what is copper loss? Copper loss is equals to I1 square R1E. So that is equals to x max square into I1 square full load into R1E. And this I am doing only to get what is the load factor at which efficiency becomes maximum. Okay. So therefore at maximum efficiency, I1 square R1E is equals to Wi from this equation. Okay. Now what is I1 square? Okay. What is I1 square R1E? It is x max square into I1 square full load R1E is equals to Wi. Is equals to Wi. Therefore, x max square, max indicates the condition at maximum efficiency, okay, is equals to Wi divided by I1 full load square into R1E. That is iron loss divided by full load copper loss. I1 full load square R1 is full load copper loss. Therefore, x max, okay, or load factor at which maximum efficiency occurs. Load factor at which maximum efficiency occurs, okay, is x max is equals to, okay, under root iron loss divided by full load copper loss. Okay, iron loss divided by full load copper loss. Okay, then kVA at maximum efficiency or volt ampere at maximum efficiency is volt ampere at maximum efficiency is VA max is equals to X max into VA full load. Okay, X max into VA full load. Now what is X max? Iron loss by copper loss under root. So VA rating, I will volt amperes at maximum efficiency is equals to full load volt amperes or volt amperes at full load into iron loss divided by full load copper loss. So this is the volt ampere at maximum efficiency which gives volt ampere at full load efficiency into the under root iron loss divided by full load copper loss. Okay, so this is all about the efficiency of transformer, condition for maximum efficiency, and the volt ampere or kilovolt ampere. If it is kilovolt ampere, it will be kilovolt ampere. That's it. Generally, I have taken volt amperes. It can be kilovolt ampere, megavolt ampere, gigavolt ampere. Okay. So volt ampere at maximum efficiency equal to volt ampere at full load efficiency. Full load volt amperes, that is kVA rating, volt ampere rating of the transformer, into under root iron loss by load copper loss. So this is the end of analytical part of the transformer. In the next class, we'll start with the examples on this efficiency. Okay, so we'll end this. Okay, we'll end the session. In the next class, we'll go through the examples and move ahead. Okay, so thank you for joining the session.